Yeah, and this is a big move for Denver. This is the biggest transaction they've made in years. Cam Johnsaon was pretty much the most coveted wing on the trade market. Teams have been trying to get Cam out of Brooklyn for a year now. He is a high character guy.
The Denver Nuggets didn't just tweak their roster this summer, they rebuilt it with one goal in mind: take the pressure off Jokic and win another ring. The Nuggets now have one of the deepest, most dangerous rosters in the NBA.
Jokic on the pump fake.
So what happens when the best player in the world finally has a bench he can trust and a front office coaching combo that's actually pulling in the same direction instead of clashing and going for each other's throats? The simple answer is, if this team plays anywhere close to its potential, Denver could emerge as the class of the NBA. Just a few years removed from hoisting the trophy, the Nuggets haven't been able to recapture that form since. But with Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, and Aaron Gordon returning, and some huge offseason upgrades, they're looking like a problem for the entire Western Conference. If the league handed out offseason awards, Denver would be the runaway favourite for most improved team. The front office went to work, flipping Michael Porter Jr. and his massive contract for Cam Johnsaon at the cost of just a distant 2032 first rounder, moving off both overpaid and washed Dario Saric in exchange for Jonas Valanciunas, bringing back 2023 NBA champion Bruce Braun to fortify the bench, and adding some heat check factor off the bench in Tim Hardaway Jr. This isn't just depth around Jokic, it's strategic depth, the type that can help a team survive the grind of an 82-game season and then hold up under playoff pressure. And don't forget, it was Denver, not anyone else, that pushed the reigning champion, Oklahoma City Thunder, harder than any team before the finals. Now, they've added firepower around their returning core of Jokic, Murray, Gordon, and Christian Braun. On paper, this might be the best team in basketball heading into the 25-26 season. That's no shock when you consider what Jokic just did: 29.6 points, 12.7 rebounds, and 10.2 assists per game. Those are video game numbers. And somehow, he still didn't win MVP. 3 MVPs in 5 seasons, and he could have easily had 4 or even 5. There's no one better in the NBA right now, and the fact that Denver finally surrounded him with a bench that won't implode the second he sits, that's terrifying. Jokic carried them to the 4th seed in the West last season, basically on his back. Now, with real reinforcements, Denver has positioned itself to contend for years. And the scary thing for the rest of the league, some of the youngsters around the Jokic-Murray core aren't done leveling up. Case in point, 4th-year guard Christian Braun.
Scored, got the steal, ahead to Braun, who soars and flushes.
Braun absolutely thrives stepping into the starting lineup in the 24-25 season. When Kentavious Caldwell-Pope left for Orlando in free agency, the shooting guard spot was wide open. Braun grabbed it with a monster training camp, kept it all season, and started 77 of his 79 games. The biggest thing? Consistency. Braun hit double figures in 71 games. More than Steph, Jonas, LeBron, and KD. Yeah, you heard that right. And he wasn't just scoring, he was efficient. Crazy efficient. He shot a career best 57.8% from the field, ranking 8th in the league among players who logged at least 70 games. That improvement landed him 4th in most improved player voting. Braun led the entire NBA in fast break points with 403, blowing away second place Zach LaVine, who had 332. Just a year earlier, Braun ranked 80th in that category. That's some leap. Analytics love him too. His true shooting jumped 11.1% year over year, the biggest improvement in the entire league. He became the first guard since Steph in 2016 to average 15 plus points while shooting over 65% true shooting. His 66.5% ranked number 1 among all starting guards. And the best part? He kept his defensive chops. Braun was one of Denver's toughest defenders, doing incredible work against Harden and SGA in the playoffs. The question now, can he level up again? With his history from high school to college to the NBA and stellar work ethic, it's hard to bet against him. But let's be real, internal development only takes you so far. Just ask Nuggets fans about the off seasons of 23 and 24. That's why this summer felt different. Denver's front office finally got aggressive, and they hit on every single move. The headliner of Denver's off-season was swapping Michael Porter Jr. for Cam Johnson in the starting five. Through no fault of his own, Johnson has basically spent the last 2.5 years in NBA purgatory with the Brooklyn Nets. So it's fair if fans' most vivid memories of him are still from his time as a young role player on the 2021 Suns team that made the finals. He's not about to leapfrog Jamal Murray as the second option on this loaded offense, but as a third or fourth option, Johnson is going to thrive. Defenses are going to be so locked in on Jokic and Murray that Cam will be living on open looks. And when Denver needs him to take on a little more, he can. That's the part of his game he's been sharpening in Brooklyn, moving beyond being just a classic 3-and-D guy into an in-between scorer who can put the ball on the floor and actually punish defenses in a variety of ways. And then there's his own defense. Johnson may not quite be the one-on-one stopper he was made out to be earlier in his career, but the upgrade is undeniable. And the bigger impact is the domino effect it creates.
Three on the way, it's good! Steal, Johnson, angles in! Johnson, deep one, connect!
When Porter was on the floor, you couldn't hide Murray defensively. When Porter and Murray were both out there, it became harder to help Jokic. Every team has to cover for their offensive stars, but with that trio, the stress was overwhelming. Gordon and Braun couldn't compensate for everything. That's what made KCP so valuable during the title run. Not that he was some all-world defender, but his presence along Gordon gave Denver lineups where the math finally worked out defensively. This version of the Nuggets is built a bit like last year's Timberwolves. Long, versatile defenders like Peyton Watson, Aaron Gordon, and the returning Bruce Brown, plus Cam Johnson, all surrounding the league's most dangerous offensive hub. The difference is, Minnesota's engine was a shooting guard, while Denver's is a center, and the best player in the world. Now the Nuggets can throw different looks at every type of opponent. If a team runs its offense through wings, Denver can stick Bruce Brown or Peyton Watson on the star. If it's a power forward, Aaron Gordon gets the assignment. If it's a guard, the underrated Christian Braun can step up. There's not really a team archetype that should scare Denver, and that's a rare luxury in today's NBA. That said, this roster isn't flawless. They still don't have a true creator on the second unit, and they don't have a defensive-minded center. Jonas Valanciunas is a very solid backup, arguably the best Jokic has had ever in his prime. He's a beast inside, a monster on the boards, and a sneaky good passer. But he can only defend one way, drop coverage. And even in the drop, he'll likely have a target on his back whenever he's on the floor. Then again, so does Jokic sometimes, and the Nuggets already know how to cover for that. Whether it's Gordon or a rangy power forward they've kept in the chamber as a secret weapon. On paper, the Nuggets look ready to run a 10-man rotation. Valanciunas, Bruce Brown, and Tim Hardaway Jr. will anchor the bench alongside Peyton Watson and Julian Strawther. But Denver isn't forgetting about their 2024 first-round pick, DaRon Holmes II, who lost what should have been his rookie season to a torn Achilles. Holmes was the number 22 pick out of Dayton, a standout during the pre-draft process after a stellar year with the Flyers. And inside the Nuggets, expectations are sky high. According to Keith Smith of SpotTrack, one Denver coach flat out said Holmes is a rotation guy from day one, adding that he would have already had that role if not for the injury, describing him as a beast on both ends who can shoot and attack off the dribble as a big man. Holmes will likely start on a short leash, but it won't take long for his motor, energy, defensive versatility, and floor spacing to win over coaches and fans alike. A theoretical second unit front court of Holmes, Watson, and Valanciunas would give Denver absurd size and physicality for other benches to deal with. He was one of the bright spots in the 2025 Summer League, and he looks fully healthy. Nuggets head coach David Adelman even joked, "Start the Rookie of the Year campaign." an award Holmes is eligible for since he didn't log a single minute last season. For a team that already came within striking distance of knocking out the champs last year.
Spinning, baseline, puts it up and in. Gorgeous move by Nikola Jokic.
Holmes could be another springboard piece towards another run at the Larry O'Brien Trophy. But for all their depth, one concern lingers. The Nuggets still don't have a clear backup point guard. Denver is unique in how little it leans on that position. Their entire offense flows through Nikola Jokic's vision and passing. But Jamal Murray is still essential. He's their best perimeter scorer and a steady playmaker, averaging 20.9 points and 6.2 assists on elite efficiency over the last 3 seasons. The issue? He's also missed at least 15 games in each of those years, which means Denver needs a capable stand-in, because history suggests they'll need a temporary starter more often than they'd like. Jalen Pickett has some upside. Career per 36 averages of 11.1 points and 5.8 assists with decent shooting splits, but 76 games of NBA experience doesn't exactly inspire confidence. The safer bet is Bruce Brown, sliding back into the hybrid role he played during the Nuggets' 23 championship run, toggling on and off the ball and stabilizing the second unit with his defense and versatility. Either way, this roster is a massive step up compared to the conservative, scratch that, downright baffling off-seasons that followed Denver's title. But make no mistake, everything still runs through Nikola Jokic, and after this summer, he might be hungrier than ever. Serbia's shocking round of 16 exit at Eurobasket, a tournament they were favoured to win, was a gut punch. Missing their second best player due to injury didn't help, but the upset loss to Finland was brutal. For Jokic, this was a golden chance at a signature international triumph, and it slipped away. By all accounts, Jokic took it hard. He's a proud, hyper-competitive player, and while it wasn't his fault, he'll feel like he let his country down. Watching his NBA rivals like Jonas, Alperen Şengün, and Franz Wagner push their respective national teams towards the tournament's pedestal must have eaten at him. But here's the silver lining for Nuggets fans. This could be fuel. First off, Jokic still balled out, finishing top 6 in both scoring and rebounding, while tying for second in efficiency. And his early exit spared him from an extra week of high-intensity wear and tear. Precious recovery time before an NBA season that will already demand everything from him. More importantly, that disappointment might just light the fire. Jokic may not be able to rewrite Eurobasket history, but he can channel that frustration into another dominant NBA run. Winning another championship will be the perfect redemption arc. This time, he won't be short on help. With Denver's retooled depth chart, Jokic has the reinforcement he needs to conserve some energy and sharpen his focus for the biggest moments. No Nuggets fans want to see Jokic lose, especially in a painful fashion. But if this summer's heartbreak pushes him to another MVP-level season and another finals run, that Eurobasket loss will quickly fade into the background. The Nuggets have Jokic, they have depth, they have answers, and this season, they might just have another championship. Do you think Denver has what it takes to pull it off? Let me know in the comments. Hit the hype button and like the video if you think Jokic is getting another ring, and don't forget to subscribe for more NBA breakdowns.